This is Shelley Kraft. We're coming to you live on SNN Live. We're at the 9th Annual Silver Summit Conference, and we're in the Davenport Hotel in very, very quaint Spokane, Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Peter Spina next to me of SilverSeek.com, and he is a featured speaker, a member of the panel, and I guess a man of expertise in the metals. Welcome to SNN Live again.
Hi, thank you for having me back on.
Now, we did Gold Seek. Now we're doing Silver Seek. We have investors interested in your opinions and your comments on the silver market. So without any further ado, why don't you tell us?
Well, silver price has recently had a pretty nice pullback from $50 to $30 an ounce, which is, from my perspective, a very good opportunity to buy at these lower prices. But my short-term prognosis, in my view, is it could be a bit choppy right now and to see silver price kind of settle down. But when you look at where we were just a year ago, just before this conference last year, silver was around $14, $15 an ounce. So silver market's doing very well. The producers are increasing their cash flow, their balance sheets are strengthening, their profits are increasing. So the recent pullback that we've had over the last several weeks, I view that as a great buying opportunity. The silver producers are really down in the 25, 30, 40% sell-offs in some of the companies, and the exploration, the higher risk companies even have had harder times recently. So I'm using this as a kind of an opportunity to accumulate and get fully back invested into the gold and silver markets.
Was there any point in time in the last year when silver took its run that you recommended to sell it?
Our target was $48 to $52. So short term, we take a strategy of holding a core long-term position and then trading, depending on the individual. We usually recommend about 20, 25%, 15%, depending on your, how active you want to be, but using that as kind of a trading position to use big swings in the market. So we did advise to be more cautious as we approach that $50 an ounce. It was a bit of an easy call because that was our prior record high, and the price had just shot up from about $15 an ounce. So,
well, you did nail the target price. I mean, exactly almost.
Yeah, we were fortunate to hit that. But over the long term, $50 an ounce is going to be pretty cheap, I believe, in 2-3 years down the road.
And again, we all know it's hard to pick tops and bottoms. It's not a big deal. Yeah. So what did you find at this conference of any surprise?
The surprise is that there's still a lack of interest in this market. You see the gains that have been made. The price of silver has done extremely well over the last, from $4 or $5 an ounce up to $30, $35 now. There's not a lot of new investors yet, and it kind of, from a contrarian perspective, I believe that's a pretty positive viewpoint. I'm waiting for this show to be so packed you can't move around. Once it really gets really bullish. And
you know what I think also is that you have strictly silver. So this is a pure indication of the silver market. Mm-hmm. But I also have noticed, in my opinion, the difference between Canadian investors in silver and U.S. investors in silver, and my opinion is that U.S. investors are way behind.
Yes, in both sectors, they are very behind the curve. Their information sources are they're not really covering the market, so they are unaware of what's going on. Unfortunately, many of them will be coming in at the later part of this bull market cycle.
As they say, somebody has to buy at the high, right?
Unfortunately, there will be those late into the game, but the market is looking like it has many years of a secular bull market to continue going through. So I look at the next 2-3 years as quite positive and bullish, and using these opportunities, these big swings to trade, and these big pullbacks to add or initiate positions. It's a great opportunity. We were just at $50 just 4 or 5 months ago. Here we are at $30, and it's an extremely positive period for these silver miners. They've been struggling for so many years, so now they can finally raise cash from production or from the markets and go expand their production and exploration and reinvest it back in the company. And that's the kind of part of the cycle now we're getting into, which I think will attract more investors in.
I got a good question for you. All right?
Okay.
I know you were going to run and speak and stuff, but does the market go down faster than the market goes up?
Yes.
You want to comment on that as, some of the reasons why things are happening the way they are?
I think there's multiple contributors to that. One of the big things, especially not just in silver market, but in general markets, you have those technical traders, momentum traders, those who can be quickly liquidated out of their positions, and you can go from extreme greed to extreme fear within a very short period of time. I'm a contrarian within the contrarian sector, so when I see extreme fear like in silver recently, and it's been happening several times in this bull market, those are the times.
Right there, right? So what's your background?
My background, I started investing back in the mid-90s. That's when I started.
As a 12-year-old?
14, 15 years old. Yeah, close. And been investing in gold and silver stocks for many years. Many of these companies at this show were exploration stocks. Some are going into production. Some have gone into production. And it's great to see these companies succeed and do well, and really a strong growth part of the economy right now. You had Allied Nevada order $300 million worth of equipment last week, and you look at all the bad news on the economy, but there's parts of it that are growing, and it's good to see silver sector finally participating.
So which website should we send our viewers to?
Well, for silver information, SilverSeek is definitely one of the ones you want to take a look at. Depending, as an investor, I use a variety of websites to keep informed. And I think the beauty of an investor today, you can access all kinds of information, do your research online. So whether you're investing in a Canadian company or a U.S. company, you can access all sorts of information about the company. So I like to check out the CEDAR websites, the SEC websites, and go through annual reports, quarterlies, and 4311 reports, and do my research before I make a decision. So.
Very smart young man. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Spina, silverseek.com. He's been around for a long time, and he's a young guy. Thanks for coming on to SNN Live.
Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure.